Hello, everybody. I'm your host, Eric Bird, here at StopStrugglingNow.com. And tonight, massive wealth transfers happening right underneath your nose. Are you partaking in this? Investors only, because the bottom 90%, you better get in. We got you. How? Several steps are going to be needed. But once again, you got to get in the game because you're being left way, way behind. Let's talk and welcome. Stop Struggling Now gear. Check. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. Now, let's get to it. All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for being here. Please share the videos because you never know who's looking for the information or don't even know they need it, because there's a lot of people struggling out here in America and around the world. You guys know the numbers. In case you're new here, normally I'm here at 6:10 p.m. Pacific time, 9:10 p.m. Eastern time, but I'm a little late today, so forgive me, please. But make sure you guys make comments in the comment section. The first things first, because investors always have to be in the stock market, right? So I guess I should add, just in case there's some new viewers here who have not downloaded software for stock brokerage accounts on online apps such as Robinhood, Webull, Moomoo. I've just listed them. Several platforms. If you're watching this on replay, you will see on your phone, if you're on your phone and you can't see the live chat, to get the links that I'm going to put in tonight, then you need to hit the first comment and swipe left, I believe. And if not that, hit the first comment, swipe right. There's a menu that comes up and it should give you the live chat menu. Also, let me know if any of you have received or saw the video, the preview video. So far, nobody's ever said they've seen them lately. I still don't know why not, but that's how they do us here. An investor has entered the building. Mr. Worldwide 2 is here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. And he brings his tagline, hello all, let's do this. That's what we do here. We try to help you, ladies and gentlemen. He tries to help you as well. And I humbly appreciate you with the icon next to your name, which means you're a member of the channel. Thank you so much for that. And I know you have been liking what's going down the past month because you've been able to re-up. You've been able to dollar cost average your way. And I'm pretty sure you're going to be very, very happy with the outcome later on as the markets keep going up and down, up and down. And because you got to give it to the administration for making it happen. That's who I'm giving credit for. So ladies and gentlemen, this may be the last time you get the wealth transfer, because you know who's sucking up all the wealth right now? The stock market going up and down means the wealthiest of the wealthiest are buying when it goes up, buying when it goes down. They're sucking wealth out of the system. You have to understand. And taking it offshore, outside of America, businesses outside of America, bank accounts outside of America. Does this sound familiar? It's the SSN Nation way. Because if you're new here, then you know the SSN Nation way it started 2 years, 9 months ago, because now it's April, 2 years, 9 months ago. It was the decree. 3 years is what you had, ladies and gentlemen, to get your 775 credit score. Your bank account that's outside of the United States. And I'm not meaning a United States territory neither. And the last thing you're going to need after you do that, bank account outside the United States, business outside of the United States, or real estate outside of the United States, or all of it. But those four things, three of the four is needed, but the most important, bank account outside the United States, most important, that is number one on your list. Credit score, 775. That should be number one on your list as well. 1A, 1B. Take the order you want. So with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it tonight. Make sure you smash that like button as I've requested. That'd be awfully kind of you. All right, stay in the stock market. I am buying daily. We're about to blow up. That's exactly right. Because, ladies and gentlemen, all this up and down is a once in a lifetime opportunity. Because soon as this Iran thing ceases, which could be next week or the week after, or it could be tomorrow. The point is, in the meantime, and when they do say ceasefire, stock's going to go up just like it did. When they say completely done, oh yeah, the rocket ship ride is going to be ridiculous. And you need to know how to at least invest in something so you can get a part of that rocket ship ride. So, a lot of you don't know how to trade. I understand. So that means you might have to pick some stocks that rise and fall accordingly. So you're going to have to do a little bit of research. So if the stock market's going down, which is hard to predict, because all it takes is somebody says we're going to war and it automatically drops within the next 30 seconds, starts dropping. So you can do it simply with a VIX stock, okay? That's VIX, velocity stocks. Those, if the stock market goes down, the stock price goes up. That's why you need a brokerage account. But you can't let it sit there, because if there's a reverse after it goes down and all of a sudden a few hours later they say, hey, it's actually nothing major, we came to an agreement, it's all good, the stock market will increase and rise back up. And now the VIX means you're going to be losing money because the VIX stock price will go down. All right, just keep that in mind. So, I mean, you could try UVXY, for instance, just for instance, right? You can see what happens again. So put up a chart of the stock market. Take your pick, whether it's the Dow, whether it's the S&P 500, whether it's the NASDAQ. Just go back the last 5 days and pay attention when it goes down, and then you can see what happens with the VIX. And then see what happens when the stock market bounce back up and see what happened with the VIX. So therefore, it's very volatile. And you have degrees to this because they do leverage. Some do 2x leverage, 3x leverage, which means the higher the leverage, the higher the risk. And a VIX stock is already risky. So I'm just giving you heads up, ladies and gentlemen, where you could actually use a stock in your brokerage account. But again, if you learned how to trade, that would be much, much more easier. Also, let me know something else. Did anybody today see any of the videos that I dropped? I dropped 2 videos today, and I have found AI. So now all the thumbnails I've made over all the years, now I'm using AI to make it. And oh my, they're making me look handsome and cute and all fuzzy and stuff. Taking out the wrinkles, taking out the little spots under the eyes. Oh my. I was sitting there in disbelief. I even put pictures in, and I'm actually turning one way or the other. And the thumbnails they create, they're using my features and putting whatever picture they want in there to make me and the thumbnails look good. Let me know what you guys think. 2 new thumbnails today. I've used AI before, but today I said, you know what? Why am I hesitating? Let me just be a geek and get on with it. All right, let me get back to the geek status. I've been trying to stay away from that. All right. Now, I like what post-retirement travel has been saying. And oh, by the way, since he's here, make sure you guys hit his profile pic, the icon of his. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. And we have another superstar in the house, Melanie B. Speaks. She's here. The book boss lady in the house. the investor, the entrepreneur. She's here. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. I get excited when I see superstars in the SSN Nation house. It's an honor. And she says, awesome. Congratulations. AI is amazing. Oh, it's beyond. I already put together something that's, I just want to, I wish I had the wherewithal to release it like yesterday, but it's taking over an industry. And yes, I love taking over the industries of certain wealthy individuals. And then they try to swat me like a fly. They usually do a pretty good job because they bribe people and do all kind of crazy, but I still enjoy doing it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome again. Melanie B speaks, and also hit her profile pic and icon because she is doing damage out here, ladies and gentlemen, financial. So go check her out. Make sure you subscribe to her channel. All right, notice what she says. Multiple dreams, multiple streams to live your dreams. That's exactly her tagline. And I have to agree, she does the books, ladies and gentlemen. She has residuals coming in. That's what you want. Whether it's interest, whether it's residuals, you got to do it somehow. Whether it's also making sure that you protect your funds. I'm just going to say this again in case you're new here. I am a big fan of not keeping my money in a broke country. The United States is broke. They are begging for more money for a war, for instance. They are taking away Medicaid, Medicare, and all that. That is not good because if they're willing to take away that, they are damn sure willing to raid your bank account and post box, your safe deposit boxes, okay? And they're not caring how much everything increases in price because the wealthy are raiding the treasury as we speak. So just keep that in mind. So you're going to have to figure out how you're going to make your own treasury. So let's get with it, ladies and gentlemen. You got the first part of the equation, investing. But investing in what? Now, there's something I haven't talked about in a while, but it just dawned on me when I mentioned residuals because the book Boss Ladies in the House, along with her 20 streams of revenue plus. But the point I'm trying to make is mention those royalties. Do you know you can Google, you can buy people's royalties? Now, often people sell royalties when they have kind of expired. They don't really care if you get, like something that might get $300 to $500 or $1,000 a year. But you know how social media and movies are these days, and they have so many streaming services. You just never know. You might be holding somebody's masters or somebody's mechanical rights or writer's royalties or something, and all of a sudden they put in a movie or they make a commercial. It's crazy how it happens. But all I'm saying is just think about that. Sometimes you can pick up a few of these little things pretty cheaply and still get passive income coming in because there's no way you can work 3 jobs. Because when your grandparents and great grandparents were growing up, one person was able to work in the household. Then, about 50 years ago, all of a sudden, it had to be, there's got to be 2. Well, we are now in the lost generation. The lost generation is up to 40 years old. And the reason why I'm saying it's up to 40 years old is because that is the new record. The average age of first-time home buyers is 40 years old. That is a record, ladies and gentlemen. That tells you if somebody's 25, no home for you because you probably don't make $120,000 because otherwise you're going to have to live in a place that's not quite where you might want to live because the average price of a home is $430,000. That means you have to make 6 figures. Or you and your spouse, or you and your partner, somebody has to make 6 figures. Right? Just saying. So now, what are you going to do? You're going to have to do something. It's that simple. You're going to have to pay attention. You're going to have to study. You're going to have to understand that you're in the matrix. The lost generation, you're going to have a very hard time because it takes more than 2 people to survive. you're going to need a third person or two jobs. Crazy. Crazy. I bought my first house at 27 years old in 1999. Melanie Speaks, a superstar. Exactly. Melanie Bonita, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, in the house. Yes, exactly. I bought several homes by the time I was 28 or 29. I mean, I can't even imagine having to wait. And what that illustrates is why the wealth transfer is happening right underneath your nose. Because if people have to wait to be 40 years old, people like me, Melanie Bonita, post retirement travel, we were very fortunate, and our parents and grandparents, to buy homes, and they increased in value relative to cost of living. They increased greater than cost of living, tens of percentage points higher every year. So that allowed people to create wealth in a short period of time. In fact, in a housing bubble, such as the mid 1980s to the late 1980s, such as the mid 1990s to the late 1990s, such as the early 2000s up until 2006, 7. Notice all of those coincide with a recession. And then there's a kickback. Then after that recession, then 2013, 14. And then it rose. But then when the pandemic came, somehow houses went up 20% 2 years in a row. 20% in 1 year. 40% in 2 years. A house. And that's where we are now, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm not saying this can continue because, quite frankly, there's not that many people that make six figures. So that means a lot of people have to work two jobs. That also means your health is in danger because you're not getting necessary sleep. You're under stress. And you got to stop the stress, right? Film videos. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Very happy to see Film Videos. You guys hit him. Hit him. He's over in the DR. He's over in Punta Cana. I saw the latest video, by the way, of Panorama Luxury. Great job, man, because a lot of people don't walk through and take their time and show things. All they do is like show this little 3-second clip. Then they move to another 3-second clip, another 4-second clip. It's like, hold on. I haven't been there. I want to see what it actually looks like. I want to look in the background. I want to see through the window, see how much they're really doing. I appreciated this latest video. Go check him out on Instagram, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, he's on social media all over, Film Videos. He brings his tagline this evening. Eric, your excitement about AI puts a smile on my face. Thank you, man. And by the way, don't forget AI stocks, the NVIDIAs, the AMD. You heard me, AMD, ladies and gentlemen. Can you believe AMD stock price is higher than NVIDIA's? This is incredible. Just saying. Kind of weird, but okay. The AI industry is going to keep booming. Did you guys see OpenAI has like a 100 billion? I don't even know what I saw today. I just had to wipe it clear. It had like a $1 trillion evaluation, $800 billion evaluation after $122 million round of investing. What the heck? They're just OpenAI. Come on now. How are they ever going to they are not making no 200 or 300 billion, $400 billion a year in profit. How are these things being evaluated this much? There is no way they can recoup this money. Jeesh, it's crazy. All right, Film Videos. I heard it's looking like solid info. Some people will get keys in the next few months at Panorama Luxury. Okay, well, the building you were in definitely not going to get keys. I mean, there was a few furnished units, but that's still like a ghost town to me. And by the way, I'm glad you're here. What was up with the parking garage? That looked kind of low to me. I mean, like, did you have a camera high, or it didn't seem I know most people aren't like 6'5". So the roof or the I should use the barrier. It didn't look that high. It didn't look like 8 feet high. Quite frankly, it looked kind of weird. And also, what I noticed this is why I don't like underground parking. I didn't notice any drains, like big ones for the downpours. I was looking for the drains. See, this is why I like when you were walking down, getting to the underground parking. I was like, oh, look, he's like at least showing it. I was like, okay, where's the drains at? Where are they? I don't see them. And I didn't see any on the downgrade either, because there should have been something at the very bottom come across and been like, man, let's just get all this right now. We don't need to worry about it. Keep going through. We got to get as much up front as we can. I didn't see none of that. And I didn't see any grates going down either. Just, have to give these guys some suggestions. That's what I was looking for. But great, man. Which unit? I mean, is it? Remember, in Panorama, there's Panorama 1 and Panorama 2. I'm assuming you're talking about Panorama 1. But nonetheless, at least your video showed what it looks like, regardless if they're not the units you showed didn't really show too many that were finished, but you did show a few. When are you back in town? Well, it depends on what town you're referring to. If you're talking about DR, probably never. If you're talking about Sacktown, probably, what is this, April? Probably 4 months. If you're talking about Vegas, then you can catch me. I'll be in Vegas for a minute. If you're talking about East Coast, well, that might be in about 2 months. Yeah, I know. It's kind of fun to move around like that, but it's all right. All right. But let me know which city you are referring to. Then I can tell you a little bit more. If you're talking about Sacktown, this won't be for about 5 months, 4 months, 4 or 5 months, somewhere like that. No emergencies that I know of. So we have another emergency in Vegas at the moment. So that's kind of like why I'm not really moving too far too fast. But nonetheless, we're here. You're here. Thank you so much, Film Videos. And again, ladies and gentlemen, if you join us, no matter, go to Instagram, go to YouTube, Film Videos. You guys can find them there. You'll see the videos from, he's doing drone shots. This latest one, Panorama Luxury, I saw on Instagram. I don't know if, did you upload it to YouTube yet? Either way, it's sharp. It was cool. I was happily surprised because I was like, oh man, I know. But then when I saw you kept going in long form, I was like, oh, he's really showing it. And that's a great service that you're doing for people too, because they don't do it. Panorama Luxury, all they're good for is just what I was talking about. In fact, they don't even do 3 seconds. They make these AI things, and you don't even know what they're doing because they're showing you parts of something half built. Then they show an AI showing a full build out, and you're like, who cares about this AI stuff? I want to see what it really looks like. And Film Videos doing a great service because they aren't out there sending videos of people or anything. So that's pretty awesome, man. That's real cool. Eric, you aren't planning to go back to DR? What about your Larimar unit? You aren't moving forward with that? I don't know what I'm doing with it because 2 years ago, I requested my refund. So they never sent me my money back. So it's in limbo, and apparently other people haven't made payments, and they've told them they weren't, and they just said, oh, okay. So I guess I kind of have title to it. Now, the question that you're asking, if I still have access to it, then okay, I'm going to find out later on, another month or two. But they keep telling people BS, and it just annoys me. Even though they're building, yes, they're doing stuff, yes, but it just annoys me because they're telling people December 2026 for Prime Towers. And the reality is that Prime Towers, even though they're using panels, they're on floor 6. Remember, in my mind, there's 17 floors. And I'm talking about 6 floors above ground. So really, they're on 9 floors, I believe, but only 6 of the 6 floors is above grade. So the problem with that is they still have another 10 floors on two buildings. All right. Now, the which is weird because I think they're on building 3 and 4. Buildings 1 and 2, which are up front, they've only went 1 or 2 floors above ground. So if you start doing mathematical equations, that's 20 on 20 floors just for the gray. The gray is the cement. 20 floors for towers 3 and 4. And then if I have this right, let's say they're on second floor for buildings 1 and 2. So now they still need, that's 20 floors, and then they have another 14, 28. So they have 48 floors. And that's just gray. That's not enclosing. That's not getting all the interior all propped up, putting in windows, putting in flooring and all that, unless they're doing it along the way. But if they were, they would have shown it. So nonetheless, and by the way, they tell me you can no longer just roll up to Larimar. Apparently, you have to have somebody has to approve or do something. So again, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. If they look, if they allow, if they, here's what's basically going to happen. I'll just tell you, I thought about this just this past week. I was like, okay, now it makes sense because in my mind, I still don't think they're delivering until 2028. Best case scenario, any of the towers. They're saying December 2026. They got 48 units to go, or not even units, 48 floors. So, first of all, let's just, okay, let's just start today. Let's say today is floor 1. Let's say I don't know how long it takes for cement to cure in a humid environment. Oh, by the way, since we do have Google, we just find out cement take to cure or dry, just so I can, in a humid environment like Dominican Republic. Now, it's going to matter between this time of year and now in about 2 months because humidity levels start rising. Let's see, it says in a humid, hot environment, concrete typically sets in 24 to 48 hours, reaches 70% strength in 7 days, and cures fully within 28 days. Oh, wow. While high humidity slows the drying evaporation process, it aids the curing hydration process, often reducing cracks. However, high temperatures means it requires rapid moisture curing to prevent surface cracking. Yikes. That's a finicky situation. So again, the guys that were doing the blocks, they cure the blocks within like 7 days. Now, blocks is smaller. The panel building is a little different because you're dumping cement and having to wait. This thing, if this is true, wow. Wow, 28 days? Ooh wee. You can't go too fast if it's only 28. Here we go. For construction in DR, do not remove forms or apply heavy loads until at least 7 to 14 days, with full strength expected at 28 days. Whoa. Wow. So once again, this is something I didn't look into because since I didn't end up building anything, but this means it takes even more time to build. My goodness. So anyhow, I was just going to say I thought it was 7 days. I was basing it on the blocks. Now that I know it's not even full strength at 7 days. Jeez. Okay. Let me do this. I'm going to put in does panel building change this? Just real quick, let me see what it says. Yes, using panel, no, no. See, when I put in panel building, they're thinking I mean the panels were already cast. They already built the cement and everything, so it's pre-cured. That's not what they're doing. So it says, oh, wait, what? If you're pouring a traditional concrete slab to hold the panels, that slab still follows the standard 28-day curing rules. Oh, man. Wow. 7 days for joints. 24 hours to set and 7 days to reach significant strength for joints. Surface finishers, 7 days. I was going to use 7 days. So anyhow, let's just use, I'm still going to use 7 days, but my point was we got 48, right? 48 levels to build. So if we do 48 levels and then add 7 days, right? That's what I'm looking at. At least that's how I'm calculating it. And somebody here who might have built in DR may know better than me, obviously. I've never built anything. So clearly this is guessing. But mathematical wise, 48 floors of cement, how long will it take to build just the gray concrete? Let's see. Let's see what it says. Huh. 12 to 15 months once the foundation is complete. So the foundation is complete. 12 to 15 months. 48 floors. Okay, that's what Google is saying. 48 floor reinforced concrete building constructing the complete superstructure alone typically takes once the foundation is complete. Well, we went to the 12 to 15 months. So with the foundation and everything, that started in December 2024. We just now got out to the 12 to 15 month category. They're saying one floor every 7 days is what could be done. I guess that I was right. Day one, day two, okay. So while humidity slows the drying, loss of water, it's perfect for curing, gaining strength. It prevents the concrete from drying out too fast and cracking in the Caribbean sun. High early strength cement type 3 or chemical additives reach 70% in 3 days instead of 7. See, this is, and by the way, this is what scares me, right? This is what scares me about this, is because the ground moves and shakes, and it doesn't appear, I don't know if these guys actually put in any type of skates or any type of thing that says, okay, this can move in either direction 3 or 4 inches to offset some movement. And we're going to be up there, some of the tallest towers in Punta Cana area anyhow. So it's going to be very interesting, which makes it kind of scary. It's kind of low for owner, upstairs parking for visitors. Yo, okay, well, yeah, that garage did look low. I thought for sure, I was like, man, that's kind of low. Anybody have anything like a surfboard and bringing any type of truck down? I was like, that's going to be kind of close. Okay, upstairs parking for visitors. That's interesting. I didn't think there was enough room. Very nice. Thanks for the info. The DR does a poor job on drains. That's why when it rains, it floods. Yeah, I know. That's a sewer system. And for some reason, DR doesn't like to handle sewer systems. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You have to. You should be. This is it should have been mandatory. And I didn't see any drains down there. Well, first of all, after I didn't see any drains on the drop down, I'm like, well, where's all that water going to run when it storms? Even if there are drains somewhere else, I don't even want to get debris and all that stuff down from the to go down underground. I'm like, man, that's setting people up for disaster down there. Let alone get out in case something else happens. Yes, Panorama Run, the very first one. Yeah, SAC, we need to get together. Yeah, man. It'll be later this year. Probably in about 5 months. or less, maybe 4 months. I'll be back in SAC unless there's some pressing issues. Exactly. That's why that AI got me so upset. Exactly, man. I was like, what are you doing? That's why I said you did a great service, man. I love that. What floor were you in at Larimar? I'm on the 11th floor. And also Georges Charles, Big G, he's on the 11th floor. E. White, he's on the 14th floor. And I I don't know if what building E. White's in, but I was slated for being in building 2, Tower 2. Big G, Tower 2. E. White might be Tower 2. In fact, it probably was. You know why I'm saying probably was is because here's what happened. Tower 1 sold out for the Farallon View units. And Tower 2 was supposed to be purchased by a hedge fund. So they didn't open, Tower 2 was closed. And Tower 3 and 4 weren't available. So what ultimately happened was the hedge fund pulled out. So then that opened up Tower 2. So E. White's probably in Tower 2 as well. And oh, who else? There's so many people that bought there, but somebody else is also, I believe, in Tower 2, and they hooked up 2 one-bedroom unit. I think, was it 2 one-bedroom units? Yeah, 2 one-bedroom units. Well, I shouldn't even say that. The way Larimar is constructed, 1 bedrooms and 2 bedroom units are side by side. So they put 2 together. So then they gave you a choice of, do you want to make it a 3 bedroom, 2 bath, or do you want to make it a 2 bedroom, 2 bath? So you had your choice. And somebody bought one of those also in Tower 2. But those are on the side. So actually, when you're out on your balcony and potentially in a room or somewhere, if you had open windows, you could see part of the Farallon and the ocean through this because you're on the side of the building. And the buildings are tilted slightly. So it depends. You might even have some sort of nice ocean view. And it was minimal. So we'll see. All right. Tower next to the infinity pool, right? Um, what infinity pool? Yeah, yeah, you're talking about it, Origin. Yeah, yeah. It's actually just a pool. That's all it is. It's not an infinity pool. And they finally on the PDF they actually said it was a pool because the other people were calling the beach club, and I was like, hold up, that's a pool actually. It's not big. It's not that big of a pool. It's nice. It looks nice though. I mean, but it's just a pool. It's nothing special. But nonetheless, yeah, the towers are well. I wouldn't say they're right there because when you're driving, it looks totally different in pictures. When you're driving, you drive right by the towers, and the Origin is probably, it's still close, but it's probably about, if it's not 1/10, it's 1/10 of a mile for sure, and it may be 2/10. And so it's kind of weird the distance because it doesn't look like a huge distance when you're on a drone, but it's actually, it's not close by in reality. So, but it's still close. I mean, 1/8, 1/10 of a mile, maybe, you know, I can't even guess. It's probably 200 yards away. 300. No, it's. I'd have to guess it's about, yeah, 200 yards to 250 yards away, something like that. 2 football fields away. So it's a little walk. It isn't like it's right outside. So, but you don't need to go down to that pool because at the bottom of the towers is a huge pool. So that's why I struggle with all the towers. In between 4 towers is a big pool with a barbecue grill area, gazebos on each end, kids, a jacuzzi area. I don't think they're going to make them jacuzzis, but a jacuzzi type pool as well, or kiddie pool, whatever you want to call it, is attached to this big pool. that's in the middle. So there's no reason to go see Origin. Well, I mean, unless you just want to go hang out up there, but and overlook the mountain and overlook the city. I mean, it's pretty beautiful, but once you live there, it's different than a tourist. Once you live there, you're used to it, so you're not going to go down there how often. And you're damn sure probably is not going to go out there that often if you've already got ocean view. That'd be like, why am I going to walk all the way down there when I can just sit in my on my balcony and be like chilling with my own stuff? So it kind of that's the thing that is weird, you know. I'm like looking for the extra stuff, right? You know, the adult stuff. Like casino would have been nice. A real one would be nice to have attractions of people coming, and then you have tourists. That for us that rent, it's beautiful. For people that own and live there, so what? You're not going to be anywhere near the Farallon anyhow unless you want to go out there. But you would need, and that amphitheater would have been nice too if they would have built that, because that would have brought a lot of attraction. Because I personally don't think a lot of people that would live in the units are going to be at the Farallon. And I don't really think a lot of people who are visiting are going to be at the Farallon like 24/7 either, especially when it's humidity. What tower? What Tower 1 is sold out? How many apartments in Tower 1? I think there's 340, if I'm not mistaken. I can almost do it in my head. Let me see. There's 6 units, front and back. And then I think there's 12 units per floor. So let's see if that maths out. We got, they call it 15 floors. I think it's, oh yeah, the penthouse is double floors. It's 16, but 15 units. So it's 12 times 15. Yeah, so it's definitely at least 180. So 180 units at least. I think there's more than that though. So maybe I'm wrong on the. I thought there was a 2 bedroom, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom. On the side is. Oh wait a minute, that could be three. Okay, three, three times four. Yeah, that's 12. 12 times 15. That's 180, but there could be more. It's the same. Tower 1, 2, and 3, and 4 all have the same amount of units. And funny thing, you know what? I can just pull it. I think I can pull it up. Hold on a second, because we were talking about this just the other day, right? Um, let me pull up the. Oh, that's you know what? I won't do that. I won't do that. Since we're talking about it, let me go look. Yeah, but Tower One was sold out a long time ago, but obviously people didn't complete their. I'm pretty sure some people have backed out or done something, so I'm pretty sure there's still units available. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go to Larimar website, larimarcity.com. I'm gonna go see because they used to have. I don't have. I could pull up their brochure, but I'm just gonna try and do it the lazy way. Let me see if they have Prime. They used to have it separated. Let me see if they have Prime Phase One projects. Here we go. Prime Towers. For some reason in my head, I remember 300 and some units. I don't know how it's 300 then. It can't be. So it looks like to me 180, but we'll see in a second. We'll see in a second. Building plans. Let's see if they tell us. Okay, here we go. All right. There's there's one, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Looks like 10 units. There's two. Oh, there's two 1 bedrooms on the side. They're not. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Okay, so we got 10 units, 150. It's only 150 units or less because some people combine them. So That's what I look. That's what I see. Nope, they don't say how many units in any of the in the buildings, but it looks like 150. So all four towers would be roughly 600 units. That's what it looks like. Okay, right here it says 138 penthouse apartments. I'm looking at it. They still have it. 138 apartments. I don't know how, but that's what it says. I see 130. So I don't know where they get the other eight, but it is what it is. Six penthouse units, 138 apartments, one, two, and three bedrooms. The penthouse units are three bedrooms. They're pretty sweet after they revamped them. Okay, so all the prime towers, 138 times 4. 138 times 4. 552 units. But then again, some of them are combined. So there might be 540 units. All right, somewhere like that. But nonetheless, one bedroom, two bedroom, and three bedrooms. So you can start doing the mathematics. If each apartment had two people, that's 1,000 people. If it was full and people lived there, it'd be 1,000 people per four towers. The density, is that too much density in a small area? I don't know. I can't tell you. I've never really thought about it, but to me, that's not a lot. But when you have the Horizon One next door that has, I'm pretty sure that number was 340 units. And when you have hotel units that's also there that have roughly 220 units each, now all of a sudden you can start having more people there. By the way, since we're talking about it, this is investing outside the United States, everybody. Let me know, did anybody see the video? Any SSN lifestyle videos before you came on the live stream? This is no credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. That's what pre-construction is. Unless you can get a great deal, you have to get a 2022 deal to do anything, in my opinion. But here's the towers that we're talking about. And just so everybody sees this, see, this is like the little seating area, kiddie pool area. And then this is the other big pool down here. So, and then here's all the towers are going to be different. And this is supposed to be like 100 yards. So again, when you do drone shots, if they actually make this pool, this beach area 100 yards, that would be sick, right? And they make it actually look this nice, that'd be pretty cool. You can see down here in the towers, they have these little gazebo type areas over. So you have, like, I'm assuming there'll be a barbecue, a bathroom behind. Just assuming, we don't know, not built yet. Then a little playground, which fine for the renderings, but if it's in real life, it should be covered. It's awfully hot. All right. So that just gives people an idea of what you'll see in here. Look, if they do this, where they have this sports courts behind here, that'd be sweet. If this actually was a thing, that hotel's not going to be there, by the way. That's a Nixay gone. Golf course is going to be up here. So all this stuff is for show. But they're going to do parking underground allegedly, because this clearly cannot hold everybody in all these towers, right? So again, I'm not a fan of underground parking. So, I mean, the place looks nice, but who knows what's going to be built. I can't even acknowledge these renderings or anything because nothing's built, but this would be obviously spectacular. And this view right here is actually like, if you're in Paradise Towers 1 and 2, this is like your view. which is pretty cool if you're not up front where the Farallon is. So it's just something. I mean, we'll, if they, once they build the four towers and whatever happens, if they can actually make this place look anything like their renderings, then it'll sell like hotcakes. But all those are big ifs, and time does matter. Time delay does matter. All right. So since I'm here, I'll get out of here and get back to what we need to do at hand. So the thing is, ladies and gentlemen, I was getting to the point about I dropped a video about earn 8% a day. We also got to talk about stock market investing, obviously, passive income from dividend stocks, because the wealth transfer, it's massive. It's going on right now. And you could be taking profits out. And if you knew how to do stock market trading, which you can learn, it's going to take you a little while. And so I am going to obviously put in the Candlestick Trading Bible link so you can get started to learn, because that's going to come in handy. All right. And then I'm going to give you, if I haven't already, I can't remember, Candlestick. I'm going to give you the CoinEx down below. Oh, candle. Wow. What's happening? Okay. Down below, Candlestick Trading Bible. I'll give you the broker that I have. It's kind of generic. They use MetaTrader 4. And the reason I like them, a lot of brokers, they all, they don't mind using crypto because that instantly releases your funds so you can start trading. But I use CoinEx, so if you're looking for a broker, you can at least learn. You have demos, and then you can go live later. But you should learn, because even the best of the best, people that have traded for a decade, still losing. And generally, anybody that starts new and puts in real money, 90 to 95% of traders lose money. The reason I use CoinEx is, once again, I am staying outside of American territories. I'm loading money up outside the US. Therefore, I have the second feature of this, because all the profits, I download them to my Bankus card, which is a crypto debit card. They give you a virtual card for online, and sometime in the next 10 days to 2 weeks, they should be able to add your virtual card to Apple Pay, Google Pay, which now means, I don't even know if I don't use Apple Pay or Google Pay, but if I did, then if you have your phone, then almost you don't need a card, but you should have a card just in case. So you should order a card. So I'll give you Bankus. Stay tuned. Please subscribe to the channel. I don't know if you guys can tell me when I post something on our post on YouTube. I don't know if you receive notifications of new posts or not. Because whenever there's going to be like something to do with Bankus, I've been posting it up in our WhatsApp group and a few other locations on YouTube as well. And then it offshoots to a few other places. But the point is, Bankus, please download the app. That's the first key. You can make money, by the way. This goes along with building massive wealth as well. There is, if you refer people to Bankus, there's so many different features. One is there's a referral. So that's what I have in this. You just download the app, and now whenever somebody orders a card, you make a certain percentage. All right? It's that simple. So that makes it nice. And let me get out of this. All right. And I thought I took that off. So I put the links down below in the chat room. So again, they have their Zoom calls on Tuesday and Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern time in the evening, 2 p.m. Eastern time in the afternoon. And they answer questions, which is, I rarely see this, that they take the time to answer questions. People put up their hands. Then you talk and tell them what your concern may be, or if you miss some information, you just ask. The other thing that I like is because people are new and not everybody's familiar with crypto and debit cards and all this stuff, they do a training at least twice a week, oftentimes on Wednesday, sometimes on a Saturday, sometimes on a Monday, sometimes it's like 4 or 5 times a week once you sign up, because some people have a problem when they download the app and then they're trying to figure out how to load things or activate things, and because it's in Spanish. They're going to change it eventually to where it's going to have English. But again, those are the things that can help you out, because now you have a resource. And I usually post those links up as well to help you out. Now, if you want to sign up other people, yeah, there's a thing. The cards, the metal, the plastic card, which I have, which you have a virtual as well, but this plastic card is $50, including shipping. It's $35 plus the $15 shipping fee. It takes 2 to 4 weeks generally for the USA. But if you live overseas, let's say Dominican Republic, for instance, their postal service is much different than the United States. So it might take you 2 months. That's the differences, right? If you're in Africa, it might take you 2 to 3 months, right? So it all depends on where you live and your postal services. All right. But you still have your virtual card once you sign up. So as long as you have the virtual card, you can pay bills online. You can call up and pay. And the thing I like about the virtual card is it changes the CV. What do you call these things? CVV? Yeah, they changed those. It rotates, which is kind of cool for security reasons. So that's what I like. But number one and number two and number three, there's three things. You can make money by referring other people. You can also make additional streams. When people upload money, the company collects 4%. 3% the company keeps, 1% they give to whoever referred you when you load. I'm like, fine with me. I don't really care. Because you're outside the United States is the way I look at it. Some people look at it a different way. They go, they're outside the United States, they're not regulated. I'm like, well, regulated environments still have fraudulent activity, don't they? They still steal your money, don't they? So what difference does it really make? But the point is, I'm willing to take that chance with a company in Mexico City. All right. They have all the licensing around the world that they need. So that's not a problem. So again, because they're not actually trading crypto. That's the difference. So they don't need any crypto regulatory environment because they're doing it on their own and it's separate. So all you're doing is loading the card and you're using crypto to do it. And then you can make money by referring people, and you can also make money when somebody uploads money to their card. You get 1%. Okay, cool. But my thing is, all the profits go on the card, or not all, but some of my profits go on the card outside of the United States. I'm not downloading it back to a regulated environment on a crypto exchange in the US. That's my own personal thing. Everybody else is different, but those are some of the features. And number four, a person that has a banker's account, I can send them money for no fees. So no matter where a person is in the world, as long as you have a banker's account, I just need your email address and you go, help, I need $1,000. I'm over in EU zone. My flight got canceled. They're not leaving out of this airport. It's going to cost me like another $300-400 to get out. I need $1,000. All I have to do, go in, my phone, send. And I'll get a text message in about 2 minutes or less. I got it. Okay? And now the person can go to the ATM machine to go get their money, or they can charge on the virtual side or on their card. So, good to go. The full 1,000. There's no fees taken out. That is a major factor for people sending money overseas, which, again, if you're overseas, you should have a banker's account So use the link in the chat room, please. So hopefully I spoke enough about it and you guys understand the ramifications. Okay, here we go. How is the crypto investment going? The only one you started a few weeks back. Have you withdrawn any money yet? No. I will not withdraw any money until I'll just say I made the video actually today. I made two videos today. The Larimar video, and I made a earn 30% a month because it was the fourth week last Saturday. I didn't make the fourth week video, so I made it today because tomorrow's the next Saturday, so it's the fifth week. But I had 108 in the account. I added 109. So now instead of $8.64, I'm going to get times two. What is that? 1734. I think that's what it is. So now in the next cycle, because I uploaded on Tuesday, I believe. So the next cycle is Saturday, I get $8.64. Tuesday, I get $8.64. So for that week, it's $17.28. So now that it's that, it's going to take 4 weeks to get to 60. 17 times 4, 68. Already have 35. So that means in 4 weeks, unless I put some more money in, it'll be $100. At that time, I'm going to have to decide, am I going to withdraw the $100 or not? Either way, you know what the funny part is? I don't really understand what I have to do, but I'm hoping I don't really have to withdraw it. I'm hoping I can just move money over into the other account, which I don't think they allow. So that, at least they use USDT. So, I mean, all I'm going to lose is 1% if I do it. I don't mind. So that means if I have to load it down and then send it back up, I'm fine. I don't mind. So that's just the way it is. I don't mind. So if it costs me, yeah, it's going to cost me, it's not even going to cost me 1%. It only cost me 1% because I use a central exchange. I load 110, they take out 1%, which is weird. Or I think it wasn't even 1% now that I'm thinking about it. It was like 0.7%, 0.7 or 0.7%. But anyhow, the point is, that's it. So if it's only like, it's less than $1. So if I got to send it down, send it back, I don't mind. Because once it's on exchange already in crypto, I don't have to worry about it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's how it's going. I haven't withdrawn yet. I will withdraw in 4 weeks or less. Because like I said, I'm tempted to actually throw some more in there to speed up the process so I can get to 100. But I'm kind of like, I'm busy. I don't have time to really worry about that. So we'll see what happens. So I let 8 weeks go by, and we'll see if it was worth it. Okay? Just let it compound and start withdrawing a year from now. Yeah, you can't let it compound, though. They don't have a compound setup. I thought that's what they were doing originally. But as it turns out, so what I was going to do was all this $8.64, I was hoping to move over. So instead of the 108 originally, I would have had 116. Then I would have had, 124, earning 8% each time, which means you effectively are going to increase your earn rate. So they said no. And I'm like, at 100 minimum. So I was like, okay, that's the first thing. Now, the second thing is you can't just roll over. You're going to have to withdraw it and send it back. So yes, you can still compound, but there's not just a simple move it over switch. So it is what it is. So that's how it'll go. But yeah, that's exactly what I plan on doing. And that's why when the time comes, do I really want to withdraw it? Because at 3, it's going to be, well, I have 2 something plus the 100. So yeah, it'll be 3 something. Probably 320, 330, somewhere in there. And then that's $24 a week. Something like that. 338, let's call it, times 8%. $27 a week. So that would be 4 weeks is $100. So we'll see how it goes. But like you said, I think the first time I'll probably withdraw because I'm just going to let it, basically, I'm just going to let it ride in reality. But I'm still going to withdraw just to see. That's the first thing, right? We still have to withdraw just to make sure we still all good before uploading something else. Just let it compound. I agree. That's how you earn passively, ladies and gentlemen. This is high risk, high rewards. If you want to get in on this 8% weekly thing that ends up being 32% a month, I made a video about it. Um, but it's really high risk, high rewards. We've been around this in the crypto business and before, and we've seen this several times, and every time there's a crash and burn because this is not sustainable unless you're doing something different, which would be like if somebody was doing one of these prop firms, you could actually do it. I'm not saying Prime Wealth does prop firms, but if they were, then you would have a great return on your investment, which would rival this type of return. But I'm not going to give them credit for that. I don't know what they're doing. All right. They're not transparent. They're not even known. So therefore, the high degree of rug pulls and things of this nature is relatively simple. So that's why I'm just willing to wait 8 weeks. We'll get the money. I get 200 and basically $220. But effectively, after you take out 1%, it's 217. So I lost three. What is that? 3%. Not even 3%. 1.5%. So that's what it is. So we'll see what happens. All right. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know if anybody saw the two videos that I dropped tonight or got any notifications. Did you guys get any notifications? Because we got a massive wealth transfer happening right now. Are you guys paying at least attention to CNBC? At least? Are you seeing what they're saying out here? Are you understanding where you sit? Dow closes lower as Trump comments dampen traders. Hopes for an Iran war ending. This is crazy. U.S. fighter shot down. Good grief. Another $1 billion out the door. 300 million, 400, 500 million, depends on what plane. Sheesh, Trump destroy Iranian infrastructure. That's war criminal stuff, just so you know. Um, I'm not going to say anything about any reports because I, we got some payrolls rose according to the government, and I can't believe that. You know why? Because TSA and federal government employees and a whole bunch of federal workers were by themselves fired or resigned or let go. So I can't believe the numbers. They're not making any sense. There's no new uh, jobs in the thousands. These tech companies are laying people off in the thousands. I mean, 20,000, 4,000, 5,000. Where's these new jobs coming from? From what? There's no industries that would employ this many people. So, I mean, I mean, I don't know what this is. This doesn't make any sense. There's no solar companies coming out because this administration doesn't want to do solar. So EV companies aren't really coming out, but they blocked the Chinese companies from having their products in the US because they're half the price of the products now in the US, which is a shame. So the US consumers are paying more for vehicles that are not better than what's half the price. And so we are paying for being Americans. The rest of the world is sitting out there laughing. They're going, huh, we have all these features and then some, and ours is only 30 grand. Why are these fools paying $100,000 for EVs? 75 grand for EVs, 150,000 for EVs. This is a damn shame. This is the whole reason America started doing the global market, because American citizens are already paycheck to paycheck. This is a shame. But anyhow, this is why you have to start making plans, ladies and gentlemen, as of now. You can't sit there. In fact, I'm going to probably put this on the screen because let's go. Let me see. I know it was volatile this past week. It was the Dow Jones Industrial Average, right? This is another reason you need to learn how to trade. Okay? They have been lending your money at a higher interest rate. That's the only way. Yes, that is true. That is like the only way. But I don't know how you get higher than 30% a month. That's hard to do. So that's where I'm having a problem with that. That's just crazy. Eric, talk about Venezuela opportunities. Any? Or is it that a 10-year plan? No, Venezuela, man. Don't mess with Venezuela. Forget about I personally, I don't mess around in South America. The reason why is only because China, well, United States and United States and Israel and Argentina and all there's a few rogue countries that mess with South America, right? Some for good, some for bad. And anything can happen at any time due to the cartels, due to the military. Anything can happen. Any investments in those countries, you just never know what's going to happen over 4 or 5 years. So it's risky. I don't mess around. I don't mess around in Mexico or here in the South America landmass. Central America could possibly happen, but I haven't done anything in Central America yet. There are some deeded places like Guatemala. But again, there's always, you got to deal with the Guatemalan attorney, authorities, and all. It's just like, man, why do I got to mess with you guys? So anyhow, Venezuela, I don't look at it as an opportunity. Anytime there's volatility, just like what our administration has done, kidnapped a leader of another country, putting him on trial, destabilizing a country potentially, which did not, but it could. Eventually, they're going to go back later, just like what they're doing to Cuba. The United States is doing to Cuba right now, turning off their electricity. You guys do understand we have a military base in Cuba, right? Guantanamo. United States owns part of, on the edge of Cuba. So we're basically hurting other humans, turning off their electricity now, which means hospitals, anybody that needs electricity for their health is done, dying, dead. For what? I don't understand. This is making zero sense. Cruelty on a grand scale of humanity, aka war crimes. And we're supposed to be the good guys. Like I always say, do you know what country you really live in? It's just kind of crazy out here. That's why you got to protect yourself all across the fronts. You need to get your credit score right to 775. And let me give you some help with smart credit. In fact, I wanted to show you guys this. Let me go show you guys something. This right here. I didn't even know they made a page for me. I just actually clicked on the link. Uh-oh. Did I just do something here? I just accidentally clicked on the link. And I thought that was amazing. Oh, jeez, that's not what I'm trying to show. What am I doing here? There we go, ladies and gentlemen. It popped up. I've been having a little difficulty. Anyhow, look at this. This is the smart credit link, and it comes to this page that you see here. How cool is that? I was like, oh my goodness. because there's no reason for me to click on the link when I'm already with Smart Credit. So I was like, that is awesome. So check it out. Here's the link down in the chat room, and it'll also be a link down below in the description box after the live stream's over. But make sure you guys smash that like button. Let the YouTube gods know that you're in the house. But I'm not going to go over it really. I just wanted to show you. I thought that was pretty cool. All right, just sign up. It's that easy, ladies and gentlemen. Add points, get a loan, save money. It tracks you. Just remember, it protects your household, as it said there. Everybody in the house that has the same address as you has a 1 million fraud insurance. That's a part of the tools. You get loan offers. You can actually get the dates of when is the best time to make your credit card payment to improve your credit score, because the credit system is slightly different now. So that's pretty cool. So let's you just hold on a second. Let me see something. I see they have pricing here now. I haven't looked at pricing lately. They used to have some special deals for SSN Nation members. So if you do decide to go sign up, this is a credit monitoring system. All right, just keep that in mind. Oh, there it is. Okay, $19.99, most popular $24.99, 1 report a month, 2 updates a month, Smart Credit Report and Scores Unlimited, Future Score, yeah, actions. What's that? What's this action stuff? Report inaccuracies and ask questions directly to your creditors. Oh, cool. All right. MyLona, this is Loan Tools, Money Manager. Actually, you can put in all your information and it'll tell you best course of action. And this also, again, helps your credit scores, because you can actually figure out when to make your payments to improve your credit score. That is major. Plus, there's other factors as well. So oftentimes they have offers. Personal loans, credit cards, student loans, auto loans. Okay, get out of credit. Get out of debt, ladies and gentlemen, is the key here. We need you at 775. All right, the SSN Nation way. Just keep that in mind. All right, I just wanted to show that. That's pretty cool. Nope, we're taking it off. That's pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think about that. And also, the massive wealth transfer is also going to go down in real estate. You're going to have to be prepared. I always say land is your first step. No credit check, no qualifying, no barriers to entry. It is possible. You can go to discount lots. But if you're going to mess with land, then you have to be very, very specific on what you want the land for. To sit and wait because they don't build land anymore, do not do that. What you want it for is either several things. One thing could be that you saw the 5-year building plan or 10-year building plan, and they're going to be building out some things this way that's going to bring out a lot of people, which would now increase the value of your property. But are you willing to wait 5 years, 10 years for that to happen? Or are you looking at it a different way where you say, well, I'm getting this 20 acres because I want to put something on this 20 acres and all I need is solar panels and portable potties, and I'm doing something that has to do with people coming out here. And a friend of mine actually did that. So that meant their lot or their acreage did not have to have water, sewer, or garbage, because they set up the whole thing. They put out on their place the snack bar. So when people came out to the recreational area, now they're selling snacks at a markup. Remember, 20 acres, they're in the middle of nowhere. Well, 20 acres is big, so not in the middle of nowhere, but still 20 acres. So they come out, do their recreational stuff. You need water? We got water. You didn't bring your own? We got it. And anything else, snacks, food, cook up, all kind of things. So you're making extra money from that. Making extra money to allow people to use your land for recreational purposes. You got to make sure it's a commercial, or if the city will allow you to do that, you got to double check that. But all I'm saying is you can get acreage all over the country. No credit check, no qualifying. All right. Discount lots for one. I think there's greatland.com, Landmodo, all of these guys, no credit check, no qualifying, takeover payment type deals. All right. So that gives you an opportunity to get into something for little to nothing. And if you have a plan that you can implement right away, you win, right? You win. Just saying. All right, let's go. We have another person in the house tonight. Divinely Gifted. I love the name. Welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Very happy to see you. Thank you so much for being in the house. Everybody, give it a one smash, one piece on the like button. Now, let's go. Now, anybody see the trailer yet? Anybody? Are they blocking our trailer? Because nobody sees our trailer. That's crazy. All right. The wealth transfer in many, many different ways is happening. All right. Liabilities is out. What are liabilities? Homes, cars, credit cards, debt. All that is liabilities. The reason why I'm saying this is you have to live somewhere, and unfortunately it doesn't matter where you live, because if you rent or own your home, the insurance and property taxes go up. So by default, the landlord has to raise the rent. If the landlord doesn't rent, then the cost is on him. Unrealized losses that a lot of people forget about. Because again, I'll just put it to you this way. If a person has a $300,000 or $400,000 house and your property tax is $3,000 to $5,000 a year, in 10 years, you've paid 30 some grand to 50 some grand if your property taxes stayed the same for 10 years, but they're not. They're going to go up. So as it's unrealized, you're going to end up paying $40,000 to $60,000 at least over 10 years. So, as I've told people before, are you adding that to how much you purchased your house for? Then are you adding the interest that you're paying on your mortgage to what you purchased the house for? And then are you adding the insurance payments that also are rising every year? That could be also another $40,000 to $60,000 or more in 10 years. So just in 10 years, you could see where you could have a situation where you added anywhere from 100,000 to 150,000, 180,000. So your house in 10 years better be worth at least another 100,000 to 180,000, right? You paid for it. So again, you're going to need passive income. So you're going to have to start figuring out more ways for a person to be an entrepreneur than ever before. And unfortunately, most people aren't entrepreneurs because nobody wants to take the risk. An entrepreneur earns their money by their hard work with no safety net. You don't get to come into work and lollygag about, do nothing really productive, and still get a paycheck. And may even have healthcare coverage. You don't have that. You don't have that. If you're an entrepreneur, self-employed person, trying to create a corporation and have employees, you have payroll taxes, you got accounting, you've got things that you're going to have that'll keep you up. You're willing to work 16 hours a day with maybe no return. That's why most businesses fail. 9 out of 10 fail in the first year. 9 out of 10 of those fail in the second year. So there's a high failure rate. But if you're successful, it's worth it, right? So, but that's still a high risk. So therefore, you need passive income. Where are you going to get the passive income from? You're going to get into dividend funds? Are you going to go high risk, high rewards with like an ARR, PSEC, IVR? Yeah, this high risk, high rewards, but you can get 15 to to 20% return annually. But are you going to do that? That's high risk, high rewards. Or are you going to go with a less known risk like JEPQ, which is a JP Morgan fund, and get around 11% annually, which is nice, double digits. So you got your choices. Or you're going to go with AG&C, which is around 12 to 13% dividend, which is a real estate investment trust, just like the first three I mentioned are real estate investment trusts. And unfortunately, the Federal Reserve might increase interest rates. So let's just put the reasoning when we first started, and I showed you CNBC where they were well, I didn't show you because they payrolls. The reason why an administration would want to inflate payrolls is because they know that's what the Federal Reserve looks at. If it's an increase in payroll, then that way they can say, oh, look, we're fully employed. You guys can reduce the federal funds rate now. You see? So when you artificially do this, all of a sudden, the feds are like, where are they getting these numbers from? Just like me, I'm sitting there going, where are they getting these numbers from? Because we know Amazon, the postal, not the postal, UPS have laid off like 30 to 40,000 people. So I'm like, where are we? And those are livable wage jobs. So where's these other jobs coming from? We're losing manufacturing jobs. We're losing corporations. We've lost farms. So even seasonally, we've lost jobs. So there's no way this number doesn't make sense. But they're doing it so then that way the Federal Reserve might go, huh? But the Federal Reserve is going to check their own stuff. So it doesn't really matter what they're doing. They're going to go by PPIs. Tamara Larry, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Another investors in the house. Very happy to see you once again. Hopefully all is going well with you and the familia. MDA 0214, welcome to the SSN Nation Financial Friday Night Live Stream. Another investor is here and he does the stock market, ladies and gentlemen. And this week he has been euphoric. That's the best word I could use. Euphoric, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to show you why euphoric in a second. Since he's here, let me go see, because he does have a tagline. Most businesses fail because of no liquidity. You are correct. The more cash you got, the higher your chances of survival will be. Correct. Cash is oxygen. That's why they burn through a lot, and oftentimes they need help. And that's why a lot of people go get these SBA loans, try to find some other loans, minority grants, and things of this nature. If your business don't have cash, you might as well close shop. He's exactly right. That's why they call it the burn rate. Just like OpenAI right now. They don't make any money. The burn rate is crazy. But yet they got $122 billion on this funding round, making them 800 and some odd billion dollars worth. And they can't even make money. This is insane right now. This is what environment we live in, which means you need to be in the stock market taking advantage of this massive transfer of wealth. These guys, I could, let me go look. I won't even get into that right now because it's so disturbing. So disturbing to me that I'm sitting there looking at something that is every day. I mean, every company out here, all social media platforms pretty much have their own AI. And now I'm just like, there's going to be a consolidation one of these days. And I don't know who's going to win the thing, but these people are acting wild. Just this is disturbing, quite frankly. I mean, really disturbing. All right, here goes the Dow Jones this week, right? I just wanted to pull this up because show people what it looked like. That's kind of wild if you were stock market trading. And even if you went on a 5-minute chart, this, what day is that? This is 3:30. So let me go get I got to look at something real quick. What's the calendar look like? Okay, 3:30 was Monday. Okay, look. So it's let's go. Where are we at here? Why aren't we? We started off the day at 45,571 and quickly went to 45,323 in 15 minutes. So on that little downside, if you knew how to trade, you could have taken advantage. Then you didn't take advantage. But then you saw this and you said, "Oh, I like the candles. Let me go do something." Now you're at 45, let's call it 40. Then, hold on, let me see what time it is. That's 10 in the day. So by 11, it went up again another 200 points. So all this activity, you could have taken some advantage. And then at 11:45, somebody comes and gets and checks their lunchtime and they're like, "Hey man, this is the high for the day, 45,589." And then this starts getting crazy because it just keeps dropping all afternoon, all the way down to 44. Let's see, 45 1. Yep, doesn't look like it made 44. 45 1 from 45 589. Money to be made on the downside. But then this is where MDA 0214 was wide awake. He was like, "Hold up. It's 2:30 in the afternoon and somebody said we might have a ceasefire." And all of a sudden you go from like 41 182 and in less than, let's see what this is. I just want to see. It's 1541 right now when it starts upticking. And then all of a sudden, it's like less than a few minutes. Hold on, I can't even get there. Let me just get up here. There we go. Wait, that says 9. Oh, this is, wait, was this after hours? 1541. Oh, the next morning. Nice. Yep, 9:30 in the morning. It shot up. Whoa, pre-market was crazy then. 15, it says that, but I can't tell because I don't think we have pre-market. But anyhow, sometime before before 9:30, it just shot up overnight. So I don't know what happened, but that's straight up. So it's something. But again, you had opportunity again this next day. So all I'm trying to illustrate is on Monday, Tuesday, 3:30. Let's see what we did. 331 was a big climb. Jesus, in the day. Again, another surge early morning. Again. Jeez, maybe I have to be up at 9:30, 6:30 in the mornings Pacific time. This is getting crazy. And then we had another drop off after hours, April 1st. It just dropped 9:30. Let's see. Still straight drop down. So you had another opportunity overnight. I think we were on Wednesday night. Was it Wednesday night? Yeah, it was. When MDA was on and he says, "I'm waiting for another one, man." And it happened actually. It actually happened like, I don't know if you went to bed, man, but it happened like 15, 20 minutes after you said that. In the middle of the night. It was crazy. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to illustrate you had opportunities galore. But regarding businesses, yeah, businesses are hard. This is why the barrier to entry is often not just simply starting a business. It's based on most people don't calculate how much it's going to cost. So you don't think about, hey, I got to get, let's say, communications. Then you say, okay, well, do I need to hire somebody? Then it's all of a sudden I need equipment. So you have to plan all these things out. And by the way, if on your tax returns you get up to $5,000, of startup is tax deduction. Okay, it's a new startup expenses up to 5,000, no problem with the IRS. If you try to claim more than 5 Gs, then you're potentially going to have a problem. Just take the simple 5. All right? Just take the simple up to 5G thing. Don't try to fudge and go over and all that trying to get the expenses off when you're a startup, all right? 5Gs is good. Just saying. Because if you actually have employees, then that means you're going to have write-off scenarios if you actually are doing something. But the good news is the first 5Gs is just free. All right? So just take the simple 5Gs, all right? Deduction. Just saying. All right, let's go. I have to give you guys some tidbits. I'm not going to be on here too much longer. The massive wealth transfer is happening. This same type of chart is going to be around next week. Same volatility is going to happen. All right. And then today, let's see, 4-3. Did we get to 4-3 yet? Nope. Let's go. Yeah, we got to 4-2. Where's 4-3? Why aren't we at 4-3? What's happening? There we go. 4-2, 4-3. Here we go then. I'll go back to one day. Let's see. Why are we on the blackout list? -60. All right, whatever. Oh, I see what's happening. Let me go 1 hour. Oh, today was Good Friday. Okay. Needless to say, I didn't trade today. I dropped 2 videos, ladies and gentlemen. Did you guys see the thumbnails? Did you guys see anything? Did you guys see the trailer, SSN Life? Did you guys see any of my new thumbnails? AI generated. It even kind of looks like me. It used a picture of me and recreated it from different angles, different views, changed the glasses, put some stuff in the... Oh, it was awesome. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. This is off the charts. How much are they going to get paid for this? I did free. I'm just saying. It's going to be like our email, right? They're going to be like, oh, you got to pay for your email now. That's what AI is going to do. I'm just laughing. I'm like, man, you guys are killing me with this stuff. Pay per service. How funny. All right, I think we covered everything regarding massive wealth transfer. Also, think of starting your own business during this type of environment. You can oftentimes come up with something that solves a problem. I wish I was in the medical field because there's something that solved the problem. There was people, so many Americans don't have health care and they can't afford health care. And there was something on 60 Minutes that I saw where there's a roaming medical team that goes to cities and tells people we're going to be there to take care of you. And can you imagine people start lining up overnight? And this isn't even in major cities either. This is out in rural locations. And there's so many people that they line up overnight that do not have health care. It's incredible. People are dying out here. So if you were in the medical field and had some way to save people or help to get food to them or any type of medical care, I'm not saying you would get paid, but all I'm saying is that solves a problem. And maybe you can get some funding from the government. I don't know, but this is crazy out here. So anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, it's have a happy Easter weekend. And I want to thank everybody once again for being here and being on the SSN Nation team. And like I said, just make sure you show some love, some humanity to people, because it's very, very hard out here. And please like, subscribe, and click the bell below so you get the latest updates. And you guys know I love you guys very much. Anytime you guys ever need anything, you can always hit me up at support@stopstrugglingnow.com. All right, check the recall list as well. Brian P's not here to egg me on, But check out the recall list. Just Google recent recalls in the month of March and April, and you're going to be shocked because a lot of people think that the government protects you. You're going to find out they hardly protect you at all. It's not even like they're trying. So just keep that in mind when you're driving around, eating, drinking, consuming. Just be very, very careful out here on all fronts. All right? You live in a third world country and you don't know it yet until something happens. Just remember that. And with all that said, ladies and gentlemen, just make sure you smash that like button on the way out, as I just asked and requested. I'd greatly appreciate it. But no matter what, keep your head up, keep moving, and I'm out.